In this video, you will learn about PPC Ninja, which is a Amazon advertising campaigns optimization software. It also helps you to manage your campaigns. And if you would like to try this software for your Amazon business, check the link below in the description and take advantage of their special offer for OrangeKlik viewers. All the information is in the description. This software might be also a perfect solution for Amazon advertising agencies. So check this demo. And our guest is Ritu Java, the co-founder of PPC Ninja. And this video is part of the Demo Mondays video series where we invite different Amazon seller software creators and we ask them to present their tool just like this on the screen. And today we are talking with PPC Ninja. Hello, Ritu. It's nice to have you here. So please introduce us to PPC Ninja. What does it do and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, happy to introduce PPC Ninja. So PPC Ninja is a software that helps agencies and brands save massive amounts of time in managing their advertising data efficiently and effectively.
All right. And could you give us an idea for what kind of Amazon seller are you targeting your solution?
Yes, so this is ideal for slightly advanced sellers, intermediate to advanced sellers who understand the basics of PPC and need a software that is very powerful that can help them do bulk operations, operations at scale, and can do it very quickly and efficiently.
And what marketplaces is it functioning in terms of Amazon regions and countries?
Yeah, Amazon is constantly adding new marketplaces. So at this point, we support 16 marketplaces. As more and more get added, it's fairly easy for us to support new marketplaces as well.
All right, perfect. So let's jump to your screen and let's see how advanced Amazon seller could use PPC Ninja to optimize and manage campaigns.
Yeah, awesome. I think before I get into the actual demo, I just want to say that there is another demo that we did earlier with Demo Mondays, which has all the kind of basic information you need to kind of get up to speed on what our software does. So today I'm really going to be focusing on the benefits and the new features that we've rolled out that are really amazing for agencies and for large sellers. Okay, so let's jump into the actual software. So when you're done authenticating and you're in your dashboard, this is what you can see. And one of the things that we show you in this dashboard is the conversion rate history. So you can actually look at your conversion rate over time. And this is a great way of, knowing how your conversion rate is trending over time. Now, as you know, Amazon does not provide the conversion rate data. So this is a very unique feature on our dashboard. Another prior video that we did with OrangeKlik, and that has all the basics that our software covers. But today I'm going to just focus on the most important killer features that I really love. So let's jump in. So first of all, I want to draw your attention to these views. Okay, so I'm going to click into the views section here. And in the views section, you have multiple views. And let me show you each view one by one. So the first view we have here is the campaigns view. So what is the campaigns view? This is a view of all the campaigns in your account, right? So you can separate these by enabled, paused, archived. So this is pretty straightforward here. But what I really love about this view is that I can, hide and show as many of these, columns as I like. So let's say if I don't want to see some of these, or I do want to reveal some of these, I can do that fairly easily. One of the things that makes this view really interesting is that you can customize it by simply dragging and dropping. So as you can see, I just dragged the ACOS column over to here. I can even drag my orders column. I can drag, all of these columns and rearrange my desktop as I need, right? As I'm focusing on certain features, I can kind of, drag and drop them. So So basically, that's where you can really look at the entire list. And now I want to show you some of our powerful filters that are available in each of these lists. So for example, if I want to ask the question, which of these campaigns is performing the best? One of the indicators of good campaigns is your ACoS, right? So I can always say for the ACoS column value less than, let's say 20%, and greater than 0%, right? It's going to give me a subset of all of the campaigns that meet that criteria. Well, that's great, but what if I want to say, no, in addition to that, I also want to make sure that I had at least 5 orders, because otherwise it's a, small victory. Let me see, greater than or equal to 5 orders. So now I know, okay, now we're talking, because these are actually good campaigns because they have good ACoS and they have a substantial number of sales. I can also do another thing, which is I can say I want my conversion rate to be above, let's say 10%. So I'll bring over my conversion rate metric here and say has a conversion rate of greater than 10%. Right? So with this, I'm basically down to one campaign that meets all these 3 criteria, right? So if I had a different criteria, like let's say 5%, I'm probably going to get a larger subset. So let me just do that for the sake of demonstration. So now I have 12 campaigns that are beautiful. They have good ACoS, they have substantial sales, and the conversion rate is amazing. So what do I want to do with this? I probably want to make sure that this, these campaigns are not budget restricted. So let's go over to the budget column and see what's happening here. Now, these values are showing up in yen, which is a different currency, but I can tell that this 150 yen campaign is under budget. Like if this is a good campaign giving me amazing ACoS and amazing sales, I should be increasing this budget so that I can maximize the opportunity that's out there for this campaign. So the first thing I could do is I could just double click into the budget. You see how easy it is? Like it's to do this in Amazon, it's like 5 steps. Go into campaign, go in. So here I can just increase this to 5,000 yen as my daily budget. The other thing I could do is I could do a bulk action, which means I select all of these, my best campaigns, and say now increase the budget by 1%. So I might say increase all of these budgets by 10%. So I just said submit, and voila, all these campaign budgets are changed just like that. So this is a huge time saver. What I just did to my best campaigns, this can save you at least 30 to 40 minutes of your time if you were to do this manually, or even if you were to download a report, then fix it, then upload it. So this is saving you time, very precious time. Especially if you're an agency, you need to go through hundreds of accounts or hundreds of profiles very quickly, or your team has to do it. This is a great way of doing bulk operations. Now, let me show you some more features within the campaigns view. Here you can see the campaign bidding strategy, right? So this is another important one that is available at the campaign level, and it's visible in this view. It's very hard for Amazon to show this in their view, but look at this. I can change these views to up and down from right here, right? So I notice here there is a down only campaign with an amazing ACoS. I don't want to waste this opportunity. So I might just say, hey, change this to up and down and select, and that's it, done. So I've changed my bidding strategy based on the criteria that shows me it's an amazing campaign. Same thing I can do with top of search placement. Same thing I can do with product pages placement. Again, there's 2 ways of doing it. One is directly clicking in and changing the value just like that. Or the other way is to select all of those campaigns in bulk and say, set top of search adjustment, just like this, and set whatever the adjustment is, right? So these are some of the really quick ways to kind of save time with your campaigns. And again, it really, as an agency also, in addition to being a software provider, we're also an agency. So we really use these, features every day. One last thing I'll show you on the campaigns view, which is the chart that shows me the history of the campaign. for each campaign, we can give you the same kind of charts that you saw at the account level. And this is, again, interactive. You can see how did my impressions trend over time, how did my ACoS trend over time, and so on. So it's pretty visual and very easy to understand. All right, now let's go into the keywords view. So I was just telling you that this view is similar to what you see in Seller Central, but the keywords view is nowhere present on Seller Central. Like, you cannot find this view in one page. So I'm just loading this page up for a pretty long period of time. So you saw how quick it was to show you all the keywords. There's 8,638 keywords in this account. And, this could have been a lot of work to, go into the campaign, go into the ad group, reveal the keyword. But now I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with my campaigns. I'm going to find my best keywords. And again, let me drag over the ACoS column and say all my keywords that have less than 10% and greater than 0% ACoS. These are the keywords that I want to make sure that I, treat in a different way, because I might want to, get more sales from them by increasing the bids. Now, at this point, if you know what you're doing, you can actually do this very easily yourself and then go and change the bid yourself, right? But I'm just going to mention that we also have a fully we have an optimization recommendation engine here that gives you which keyword needs to be updated. So you don't even have to do these steps. But I'm just showing this for, someone who really wants to dive into their data and who wants to take full charge of, their keyword performance and take action, just like they would with, let's say, a CSV report that they would download from Amazon. You can do that stuff here, because this is almost like Excel on steroids, right? Literally, it's Excel on steroids. So I've just filtered out my best keywords. And now I'm going to see if my orders were significant. So I might say anything that has greater than 2 orders, because less than that, maybe it's not that great. Okay, so now I have 17 keywords that meet both criteria. ACoS is great and substantial number of orders are there. Now I can say, okay, bulk action, increase the bid by 1%. I might say increase by 10%, 1%, whatever number of, you can put whatever value and it'll get done right away. So this is great, because now I was able to quickly optimize my best performing keywords across so many different campaigns that I don't even need to open up. So again, this is almost like an hour or hour and a half, worth of time that I just saved by doing what I just showed you. So super easy. Another thing that I really like about this is that we also give you a keywords view for every single keyword. And we also give you the bid change history right here. This is unique. Like, I haven't seen any other software that has this. This will tell you how you changed your bids over time. And then you can layer on another KPI like impressions. You can also see, okay, when I changed my bids, what happened to my impressions? So as you can see here, they dropped. So this chart is telling a story of what happened to the keyword. This is amazing for someone who is really doing a deep dive into their account and wants to know at the keyword level how things are performing and how things are trending. So visually confirming impressions ratio or relationship between impressions and bids, you can do that easily at the keyword level. Same thing with targets, right? So I'm going to skip targets because it's very similar to the keywords view, right? It's similar because it's here, let me just change this date range to 30 so it speeds up a little bit. So the targets view is very similar to the keywords view. Again, we have charts, we have a bid that can be changed, all of that good stuff. Now, let us talk about some of the search terms, that search term reports that everybody is used to downloading from Amazon. So I want to just show you how easy it is for you to just see what the buyer searches were, what the keywords that they matched to were, what the match type was, and so on. All of the data, the performance data. And here, what you can do is you can look for like the worst performing keywords. Maybe if you want to negate them or do something with them, lower the bid, etc. So there are bulk actions here, such as adding those keywords to another campaign, adding as a ad group negative keyword, or adding as a creating a new campaign from selected keywords, etc. So there's a lot of things you can do. Plus, you can also copy those terms to clipboard and then maybe do something else with it. Also, every view has an export button where you can download the data at any time. All right, so I'm showing you all these views, but I'm going to now skip to some of the optimization features we have, because this is where you can actually save a lot of time. So let me switch to optimize bids, because this is really the heart of our software, where you can get the maximum value in terms of time saving and accurate and very fast recommendations, which will prevent you from bleeding money very early on in the phases that your campaigns go through. So in our optimized bids, there is actually 3 different types of optimization recommendations we provide. 1, 0 sales, which means that there were clicks, but there were no sales. What do you do about that, right? Now, the answer to that is not lower the bid. No, it's not always that. There's 2 different things that might be happening. One, that you've already spent a lot of money on that keyword, and it is time to kind of now start to drop your bids. The other thing that could be happening is that this keyword hasn't accumulated enough clicks, even though it's got no sales. It should be increased in order to capture more of the market share with more impressions, right? So how do we decide that? Let me just switch to the 0 sales condition, and I'll just show you in a second what I mean. I'm going to drag over the ACoS column over here. Now, do you see this? In the 0 sales scenario, what happens? You have no sales, and therefore you should ideally have no ACoS, but we provide an ACoS value. How do we do this? We treat this as a projection of what ACoS might result if the next click were to be a sale. So you're accumulating clicks. So let's say you've already accumulated 20 clicks here, right? You've accumulated 20 clicks. And at that point, based on your CPC, whatever your CPC is, you would have already spent a bunch of money. And let's say the next click resulted in a sale, at that point that it would raise an ACoS of 17.41%. Is it acceptable? Or is it beyond what you can, absorb, right? So this is one example of a decent ACoS, but let me just do another one, which is, let me just find one that might be, yeah, so here we go, 62% ACoS. This one had 34 clicks already, right? It spent a lot of money. So even at this value, it is sitting at 62% ACoS, potential ACoS, right? So on this basis, what we're saying is decrease your bid. So the direction here is decrease. And how much should you decrease by? You're decreasing by from 29 yen, which is the current bid for that keyword, to 17 yen. That calculation is happening automatically by our software, and you don't need to do anything with that. It just shows up. But let's say if you do your own calculation and you think, okay, no, 17 is too less, my impressions will go away. I don't want to do that. So you might say, okay, let me just change this to, instead of 29, I'll just make it 24. You can do that too, right? So while we give you the bulk of the support, like we've given you all the heavy lifting done at our end and given you the recommendation, you can always override those and get them out of the way. You can also straight up refuse and say, no, I don't want to accept this, just reject it, right? So you can either accept it or reject it. Now, once you get comfortable with our software, you'll realize that you probably don't even need to look at these recommendations, and all of them are kind of good to go. So you just come in here once a day and then just simply accept all, or selectively accept, up to you. So that's how you can actually use our recommendations on a daily basis and just go in. We're showing you all that we're doing here without you ever having to think of us as a black box, because we're not. We're not a black box, and everything is visible. The data is visible, and you can continue to filter out stuff that doesn't make sense for you. So I showed you 0 sales. The same thing we also give you for high ACoS situations, where you're already kind of above the ACOS, right? Like here, or in the low ACOS situation where you have an opportunity to kind of increase your bids and then get more of the market share, in which case we are recommending an increase in your bids. One really cool thing about our optimized bid section is that these recommendations are generated based on a data sufficiency model. Now, what is data sufficiency? This means that we are treating the time period for making these adjustments to be variable. So this is dynamic based on each keyword's momentum. So some keywords are fast movers, some are really slow movers, right? So if you were to go to, let's say, the search term report on Amazon and say, okay, give me the search term report for the past 30 days. Now you have a chunk of time, 30 days worth of data, but how do you know that 30 days is the right period of time? Well, the answer is that every keyword needs a different period of time for evaluation. Some keywords might have enough data in just 3 or 4 days of spend, right? So you don't need to wait 30 days in order to make an adjustment to those keywords. Whereas some keywords are slow movers, right? And in those cases, you probably want more than just 10 or 15 days of data. You probably want 3 or 4 weeks of data, right? So in our case, what we do is that our software is automatically changing the time period of each. So you can see this is date from, and this is date to. So there is a different time period for every single keyword and target. And this is based on our calculation of conversion rates going back 90 days. So we're looking at the recent conversion rate and the 90-day conversion rate, and then we're coming up with the right time period for these recommendations. So this is really powerful stuff. You won't find too many softwares doing this. Most softwares will just give you the same thing that you would do manually, which is a fixed time range, which is very inaccurate in terms of giving you the right recommendation. So our software really comes close to the exact time you need in order to make some changes. So yeah, just to summarize, the optimized bid section is one that will give you the answers very fast, right? It'll give you an alert very fast. And it will give you more accurate recommendations as compared to the other softwares on the market. So, while, everybody has the option of testing out many softwares, right? It's not so easy, right? If I say, hey, why don't you test PPC Ninja? You might think, oh, that's a lot of work. I have to do this and have to do that. Well, the thing with PPC Ninja is that because we don't automatically change anything on your account, you can safely try this out in parallel with whatever else you're using. So you're using XYZ software, you want to try this just to see what kind of recommendations come up. Well, you can do that because you can simply authenticate our software with your email, the same email that is associated with your Amazon, and that's it. And then you can get all this data, you can play with it, you can see all the views that I just showed you, you can slice and dice your data, come up with strategies and so on. And you can do this in parallel with whatever else you're doing till you're sure and confident that this works for you. So that, that's what I would recommend, because it's so easy to test this out without any problems. There's other views we have, like the Discover Keywords view. This view will actually give you a list of all those keywords that you're not running ads on that are coming from your search term report, right? So these are keywords that, for example, this first one, it generated 3 orders. It's a search term that generated 3 orders over this time period, and it is it is not already being advertised in any other campaign for that SKU. So imagine, to come to a report like this, you manually would have to do a bunch of work. First of all, you would have to download a report from Seller Central, the search term report. Then you would have to find the best best converting keywords that had at least 3 orders. Then you would have to compare that list to your existing campaigns and you would have to find exactly which campaigns those cues are present in, match them, find the uniques, and then come up with this list. With PPC Ninja, it's just done for you. You don't need to do anything with finding all that because the software is doing it for you. And we publish this report every week. So you just have to go in once a week and just accept, just add those as new keywords, and you can add them to whichever campaign or multiple campaigns. If you think this is a keyword for this product and this product and this product, then you can simply add that to all the campaigns of your choice. Here you have multiple campaigns, you can add them in. And then by default, we give you the match type exact, because when you harvest keywords from campaigns, you want to put them in exact. But if you want to also add them to broader phrase, you can do that as well. So it is kind of cool that this heavy lifting is done for you, and then you just apply your strategy brain and figure out where you want to send these to, right? Again, we're not doing anything automated. We're not automatically saying this keyword must go here and here and here, because we've seen people getting burnt out by softwares that automatically do a lot of that stuff. They will just automatically negate keywords, automatically add keywords, even when there is maybe no sense in doing that sort of stuff. You do need some human, supervision to say, okay, this is valid or this is not valid. So you have a list and you can pick which ones are making sense real quick like that, and then just say add. So that's how this one works. Another thing that is pretty cool is the ability to move no impression keywords. Like, let me show you what this view is. These are keywords that did not get any impressions in the past 90 days or whatever period you pick. So why is this important? Generally speaking, when Amazon sees a campaign that has, maybe 50, 60, 100 keywords or whatever, it doesn't give impressions to all of those keywords equally, right? There'll be a few keywords that will be tested in the beginning by Amazon. If those keywords start to move, they will get even more exposure by Amazon. If they start to get sales, they will get even more impressions by Amazon. And then what happens is that the rest of the keywords just sit in that pool forever and forever without getting any attention, because the early data points started to move the needle for only a few keywords. When that happens, basically what you need to do is you need to pull out these other keywords that are just sitting there with 0 impressions. You want to put them into a new campaign, and that breathes life into those keywords. We've recovered hundreds of keywords this way by moving them out when they're not doing anything, right? They're just sitting in that pool doing nothing. So our software makes it super easy because we've already identified those no impression keywords for you. So then all you need to do is kind of twofold, actually. You can create a new campaign with those selected keywords, and while you're doing that, it will also help you to pause those keywords in the source so that you don't have like a duplicate scenario, right? So that makes it very, very easy for someone who's operating at scale. And then finally, I want to show you the manage bleeding search terms view, which basically tells you all the different search terms, not keywords, search terms that are bleeding money, more than 15 clicks, right? Now, you want to also maybe filter out only those keywords that have a certain number of clicks that you can tolerate, because if you have a very low threshold, you might say, okay, after 15 clicks, I'm done. This keyword is bad. I don't recommend it personally, but if you want to do it, you can, because this view gives that to you. But let's say you have a very high threshold for when you will negate a keyword. Let's say your threshold is 50 clicks. Then you can simply put a filter for 50 and say only if it's greater than 50 will I do anything with it. So I found one keyword that is greater than 50, but then I can also observe and see, no, this keyword is actually relevant. So I don't want to actually do anything here right now. So this is the power of being able to see what's happening and not letting a software just mess with your account, because it will go and block even the most a fully automated system like that could actually go and harm you more than save you, because it might block off your most important keywords that are relevant, right? And our software prevents that from happening, because you can see everything, so it's really clear. Okay, so I have touched most of the features that are really important and exciting for most people, but now I want to touch on certain features that are great for agencies, right? Because agencies need a little bit more than just simple PPC management. I think agencies really need extra data for reporting, because they have a client that they have to report stuff to. So let me show you a few of our views that can help you do a great job with reporting. So here's one, the PPC sales by product. So what is this view? What this is a time series data, which means on a date, every single date that we have here, which ASINs sold and what quantity, how many units they sold. So you can see this data is so valuable because Amazon doesn't give it to us like this, right? They give you campaign-based data. This is product-based data on a timeline, right? So this is really powerful because most brands want to see how did that product do, or how did that other SKU do, right? They're not saying which campaign did well. They're more interested in what is the total sum of sales that I'm getting from my advertising. So this can actually give you that data. So let's say if I export this view right now, it will give me a CSV download, which I can go and pick up from my export center. So the exports is where all the exports live. So now I can just download my CSV and I can open it up, and then I can just plot on a time range which ASINs got how many sales, which is really amazing for someone who is doing a deep dive into ASIN-based reporting, right? So that's one really cool feature for agencies. Another cool feature for agencies is the bid change history, because you want to see when especially when you're analyzing different keywords across hundreds of campaigns, right? You want to be able to quickly see when was the last time I changed this. Of course, we provide you a chart, like you saw the bid change history chart. But if you want to dive into a list like this, you can also do that. You can also kind of type in your keyword right here and find it, and then you can see all the dates when changes were made to that keyword. So let me just do one. Well, if I just want to see how this particular ASIN changed, right, in bids over time, I can see that. I've just put it here, and now I can see what the old bid was, what the new bid was, and which date the bid was changed, right? So date and time. So really cool and powerful way of looking at exactly what happened when. And one more really cool feature that I want to share for agencies especially is the time series reporting. Now, this is a view that gives you, the performance of each of the ad types over time. And this is really interesting because what I've done is, for our agency internally, what we do is we export this view, and then we feed it into a Google Data Studio report that looks like this. So the only input that this report needs is our time series, right? And it picks up all that data over time. It tells you how many sales happened over time, what the trend is. It tells you what the weekly trend, what the monthly trend is. It tells you the 30-day performance by ad type, because it compares the previous time period to the current time period. And it also gives you the breakdown of impressions by ad type. So sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored display, the clicks, the spend, the sales, all of that information, including the weekly conversion rate and click-through rate trend and the monthly conversion rate and click-through rate trend. All of that easily comes from this one report. Super simple, just export it. And we've just built this Data Studio report internally, but it's super easy. So you can imagine how much, this valuable this data is, because it can help you create custom reports, build out custom reports, and then you can put your own logo on it. You can change the way it looks, make it your brand colors. That part is very simple to do. All you need to do is have a Google Sheet where you upload our data, and then connect that to this Google Data Studio report, and that's it. You just do it one time, and then you simply, every time you need to publish a report like this, you simply get an export from our system and put it into the Google Sheet data. It's that easy. So those are some of the really cool features for agencies. I want to show you one more agency feature that I really love, which is, let's say you have multiple clients that you're managing simultaneously. So for example, you see how I've put these filters on, my conversion rate filter, my orders filter. These filters remain here as long as you don't change it. So for example, if I want to switch now to my, let's say my Australia account, right? Those filters are preserved. So the context is fully preserved, and whatever campaigns are meeting that criteria in that new market, or let's say in another client's market, that context is preserved. So you don't even need to keep setting those filters over and over again. So that really saves a lot of time. Another thing we have for agencies is multi-user access. So if you have a team, let's say you have VAs who need to access, you can give them their own kind of login details, and you can do that without adding them to your Seller Central or to whatever access your client has given you. It's almost like the client doesn't even know that you have all these VAs under you. So you can simply create multiple users with PPC Ninja, and you're good to go. Then I think one more thing I'll mention, and then I'll call it a wrap. These views over here on the left are very tightly aligned with an SOP. So for example, the optimize bid section, this happens on a daily basis. Like it's recommended that everybody looks at their account on a daily basis. Now, because our system generates these based on data sufficiency, every day you will see different keywords showing up in this view. It doesn't mean that every day we're changing the bids of the same keywords. No, it means that every day you'll have a different set of keywords ready to be optimized. So this is a daily task. This discover keywords is a weekly task, because once in a week, we will give you a list of keywords that are meeting the criteria of good keywords and are unique. You can add them in. So this is a weekly. Managing bleeding search terms, typically, you could do it, fortnightly or once a month or whatever. Move no impression keywords, you would give it at least a quarter's worth of time. You don't want to just give up on certain keywords. So almost like going from daily, weekly, quarterly, that's the kind of progression. And you can just simply tell your VA or whoever is on your team that, hey, do this view daily, this view weekly, and so on. So it helps. It's kind of aligned with an SOP mindset, because our team internally also follows like the same, our team as in on the agency side of things, because we also have an agency. We basically use this aligned to the tasks that we do on a daily basis. So yes, those were some of our, top features. Now, I'm sure there's more that I haven't touched or covered, but I don't want to bore you with too much. I'm sure you will find PPC Ninja pretty exciting once you get into it and you start to see how we've organized everything in a very logical sort of manner that is similar across all our views. Then you will really be able to shrink the amount of time you spend managing your PPC and really focus on strategy, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what makes you, a step ahead of your competition, and makes you a really smart agency that can save a lot of time and, add to your bottom line.
All right, thank you very much, Ritu. And could you give us an overview of pricing for PPC Ninja?
Yep, absolutely. So we have a pricing model that is based on ASINs. So basically what we'll do is we will count up your ASINs, all the unique ASINs. And if it's less than 100 ASINs, then our pricing is $99 a month. Under 500 ASINs, it's $299, and under 2,500 ASINs, it's $499. Now, there is some additional cost for markets and profiles. So an extra $30 per month for additional markets And that basically means either another client or another geography, right? So each market would be another $30.
What means market? Is it, let's say, different countries like France, Italy, or it's Europe and North America?
No, that would be region. So Europe would be region, but we're talking about additional markets.
Countries,
So
okay.
yeah, UK, all, Netherlands, and so on. Yes, each one will be $30 extra. And then additional users, like I said, we were multi-user. So additional users would be $10 per month for an additional user. Now we do have an annual plan, which is discounted steeply at 30% off, which is pretty cool. And if you have more than 2,500 ASINs, just please email us and we will give you a quote. Especially agencies might have more than that. So we will give you a special quote, and we will look at, what the size of your account is and give you a quote in a timely manner. We do have a 14-day risk-free trial. And it only requires the advertising API access, which is basically your login with Amazon, the same login with Amazon. You don't have to do anything else.
Perfect. And could you reveal to us a few upcoming features which you are going to release to your users?
Yeah. So, so far we have target ACOS that you can set at the product level. So every SKU can have their own target ACOS, and our recommendations engine will try to match or bring you closer and closer to that target ACOS, right? In the upcoming months, we will be adding campaign level target ACOS also. In addition to product level, we will have campaign level, which means that you might have one campaign that is allowed a higher ACOS than another campaign which has a lower ACOS. So this is a feature that we're going to be rolling out this year. The other kind of cool feature that we're working on right now is the ability to save views. So like I showed you a bunch of filters that you can apply to most of our views. We will be adding the ability to save them so that you don't even have to do that step of setting those filters over and over again. So I think with those two, you will save even more time managing your PPC account.
All right. Thank you very much, Ritu. And do you have any offer for OrangeKlik viewers?
Yes, absolutely. So for OrangeKlik users, we're offering a 30-day free trial. Normally, we offer 14 days. So for OrangeKlik, it's 30 days. And if you are an agency, we actually have a special promotion, which is that you will get a $500 cashback if you sign up and become a paying subscriber of PPC Ninja. So we're really excited about our agency features, and we want to make our software the agency, software of choice.
And how do people can claim this bonus and this offer?
Yes, so we will provide a link to sign up for our software. And once you've done that, please email us with just one word in the subject line, which is OrangeKlik, and then we will take it from there.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ritu. And those who are watching, you'll find the links to PPC Ninja below in the description. And thank you, Ritu, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
If you believe that PPC Ninja might be useful for your Amazon business needs, find the link below in the description to sign up for their software and get a 30-day extended trial by emailing them with OrangeKlik in the subject. And if you're an agency, you can take advantage of their $500 cashback. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video with Ritu, where she is talking how to optimize your advertising campaigns using information from brand analytics.